light. Everybody that's been, part of the movement, all in all, that we've been putting together here for some time here. Super grateful today, and super honored just to come here with some more information to help you guys throughout your guys' process, help you guys throughout your guys' journey. See, my goal simply is just to help the most people be able to do for self, be able to take back our power, so that we're all operating, as we once did, as our ancestors did. And, I believe that's, I have a huge mission here, and that's to fulfill, a lot of the ways in which our ancestors, just their practices, their traditions, things of that kind. I'm here to, bring back and make sure that those, carry on and live on forever. So, above all else, family, consumer law is vital. Title 15, I always reference it to Deuteronomy 15, which is the book of debt, the year of canceling debts. Deuteronomy 15 is the year of canceling debts. And then we just go to Title 15, and everything in Title 15, Chapter 41. The title itself, the Consumer Credit Protection Act. Right, this is a whole act that's governing, the protection of credit. What is credit? Credit is throughout a business and throughout commerce. Credit is everything. Credit is what keeps this system functioning and flowing. And I'm going to show you guys exactly what I mean by that. I'm going to show you guys where Congress defines exactly verbatim what I'm stating. That the banking system is simply dependent upon our credit. But above all else, I want you guys to understand that there is no money, at all. I wrote down, where in the Declaration of Independence, gold and silver being the only form of legal tender. That's the only law. See, now, in 1871, when the United States became a corporation, and through that, then everything throughout this corporation has been commerce and is commerce. And to even further back that, the Federal Reserve is a foreign entity, that isn't even of the United States nor the Republic. They're their own foreign entity. And, to further elaborate, what I'm wanting you guys to understand is that there is another form of debt, another debt. And that's what these corporations are simply are deceiving you into doing, is paying off a note, something that's, debt that you originated that, and when I say you originated the debt, you created the credit, and they deceived you into signing a form, into signing an agreement, and therefore that made you not even so much you, but the person, right, the organization obligated to paying these debts, right? So that's the little game that they have going on here, and the deception that's taking place. But I want you guys to understand is, if the whole system is dependent upon us, if we have a whole, Consumer Credit Protection Act within Title 15, we have a whole chapter governed towards, the protection of our credit, then we must be able to get anything removed from our credit report. But there's certain things we must know, and that's what we're going to cover on today's live. I'm going to break down the FCRA and some things that you guys must know, some things that have helped me throughout my process. And I want to bring clarity as well, too, for anybody that's new to consumer law. The FCRA is mentioned a lot of times, on their website through communication or in letter. You guys may have seen the FCRA, but didn't know, quite what the FCRA was. The FCRA stands for the Fair Credit Reporting Act. In the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the name itself says a lot. Someone was not being fair while reporting credit, so therefore Congress passed the FCRA, so therefore as they're reporting, they're reporting fair and accurate information on a consumer report, right? And they want to make sure to protect the privacy of consumers. They want to make sure that all these corporations are to touch upon, once again, truth lending again, properly using our credit. Read through congressional findings of truth in lending if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, or go to into the previous lives we've been doing this week. dabble into the truth in lending of the FCRA, but I wanted to show you guys specifically today with just the power of the FCRA, you guys can get any account removed. I'm talking bankruptcies. I've gotten multiple bankruptcies removed with just the FCRA alone. And with the FCRA is applicable for every consumer reporting agency. See, what I have for all of my students, a part of the university and a part of YBC and a part of my mentorship, what I'm putting together is a list of reporting agencies for specifically for employment. Which reporting agencies are checking, when you go to get a job and they're pulling your consumer report. Which consumer report agencies are these? What are the websites? How can I get in contact with them? How can I order a consumer report from them? Well, I'm going to put all that together for you guys, so that we can have that list out there for me. But above all else, I want you guys to know that there's multiple different consumer report agencies, and they all have consumer reports, upon your guys' livelihood. And that's why it's vital to know the definitions of the FCRA, because a lot of people don't know the true definition of a consumer report. Furthermore, you guys probably don't even know that they never define the term credit report. They never define the term credit score. That's because these terms are make-believe. Don't you think in the FCRA, where we're talking about consumer report agencies, we would talk about, a bureau being Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion? They do talk about a bureau, but they label and define a bureau as the CFP. Alright, so I want you guys to understand that these terms are vital to knowing. The definitions, are the terms that I'm referring to, are part of every single subchapter. And I do recommend studying those, mastering those before going and exploring the depths of the subchapter of the FCRA. See, the FCRA is just a subchapter within Chapter 41. Chapter 41 is a whole chapter with multiple different subchapters. See, the FCRA, Truth in Lending, and the FDCPA are all subchapters within Chapter 41. Chapter 41 is the Consumer Credit Protection Act, right? And so within there's others, subchapters, and the big three that I cover are the FCRA, FDCPA, and Truth in Lending, family. And today we're covering the FCRA, which the start of that is 15 U.S.C. 1681. Now, just going off the top, I do, got it here on another tab that if I do need to, reference anything, then I'm going to go back to it. But, we're really just, I'm not going to go too in depth with it. Just going to go over some things that you guys must know, some things that will help you guys big time in studying it, applying it, so that, and that's the thing, with all these lives, within these lives, you guys can take away from every single one of my lives something I say and put that and drop that into a letter to help you guys get a deletion. If you guys are specifically communicating with the consumer report agencies, use something in regards to the FCRA, right? We're still putting together better playlists. My assistant did a couple different playlists. I could have been better on my directions with how I wanted the playlist. So we're gonna sit down and get those playlists here organized, so you guys can have some curriculum that you guys can simply go through for your situation specifically here on the YouTube. We got that definitely with the mentorship and then with the university, but I want to make sure everybody for free, and everybody just worldwide, nationwide is able to get access to this information. I want anybody as well too that's Spanish speaking, that can speak Spanish, to reach out to me. I got some things, and I'd be definitely open to helping you, so that we can go out and help more people in the Spanish community as a whole. I need some more Spanish speaking people. I got some opportunities that can help you make money, commission based. I got a lot of clientele reaching out to me daily, so if you guys are looking to get, receive any extra streams of income, and you are bilingual, you speak Spanish and English, definitely reach out to me, so that I can further elaborate upon how you can be a part of everything we have going on. But hopping into the FCRA, it talks about it being a statement of purpose. It's not a declaration, but it's a statement. It being a statement, meaning Congress is leaving it up to us to define and go out and find the evidence. Go out and build up the evidence. At the end of the day, there's agents of the FBI, there's agents of the CFPB. We're agents of the CFPB. violation. That's Congress letting us know, yo, we put this act in place, for you guys to go accurate and what's been fairly reported on one's consumer report. If you feel any of these are inaccurate or any of these are, unfair, make sure to go out and make sure to if any of those are unfair or if any of those are inaccurate, make sure to go out and do your investigation and let us know how they're unfair. Let us know how they're, inaccurate. There's no way of them telling, how if an account is inaccurate, if an account is fairly being reported. Well, that down multiple times, and I want you guys to go through and I want you guys to get familiar with the dictionary and studying these terms. So even as we're going through the definition section, we still want to know the definitions of the terms within the definition section, as well too, because a lot of, for instance, fairness will be defined a lot, accuracy will be defined a lot, but a lot of times people don't know the true definition of accuracy, of fairness, right? So I've broken that down multiple times on this live. Okay, the connection wasn't the best. Let me know. Give me a 3 in the chat box if we're good now. The connection wasn't the best through the neighborhood I was driving in. That's why I was looking around too, because you can't be driving the Benz, just anywhere. Gotta make sure we're situated. Let me know. Drop a 3 in the chat if everybody can hear me perfectly fine. I want to continue with this live, give you guys an insight, give you guys information, and then go ahead and end this one here, in the next couple minutes. Don't want to be here too much longer. Want to go over the teaching, go over the information I, want to provide for you guys. And then we'll be going live later on tonight as well too. Just on the road, had some things I wanted to share with you guys. So let me know, family. No 3, can nobody hear me? Okay, if nobody can hear me, I'm just gonna end the live here so I don't waste my breath, waste any more time on this live, even outside of the information. Even with the information I provided here on this live, I feel like that was, pretty insightful, a lot of great information. Granted, we didn't dive into, any of the codes, still things that are applicable and, each one of you guys can apply with using the FCRA. So let me know, family, can you guys hear me? Drop a 3 in the chat if you guys can hear me. Let me know. If not, we're simply going to end the live right now. I'm going to give you guys 10 seconds to go ahead and respond. And if I don't get no response in the next 10 seconds, we'll go ahead and we'll just end the live here. Because a couple people are saying the audio isn't working, so I want to make sure everybody's hearing everything I'm talking about. All right, family, can nobody hear me? Nobody can hear me? I'll just drop the poll right now. Okay. So we got some people voting yes on the poll, so perfect. We'll go ahead and finish up the live. I appreciate those that communicated and voted on the poll. So we're going to get into the rest of the FCRA and, to further elaborate upon, the importance of Title 15, Chapter 41, right? The consumer credit protection. If you guys are just streaming in, let's make sure to get the likes up as well, too. We got the way more viewers than likes, which it should never be like that. I think we should have more likes at all times, because anytime you tune in, it takes but 2 seconds to drop a like, family, but it goes a long way. not for me, not for y'all, but for those that are not in tune with the information, those that are looking to get in tune with this information, those that are in a deep, dark place looking to get a hold of this information and that are drowning in debt, right? Let's show them how to get the debt out of them. Not how to get out of debt, but how to get the debt out of them. All right, family. So I want to go ahead and elaborate upon the FCRA's, some things that are important within there as well too. So it talks about in congressional findings, it talks about the banking system is dependent upon fair and accurate credit reporting. So right away, it lets us know the banking system is dependent upon our credit. Then it states unfair credit reporting undermines the public confidence, which is essential to the continued functioning of the banking system, right? And this is me just going off the top, just flowing, and just knowing it like the back of my hand. And that's where we all gotta be, with this. This should be second nature. We should know that this whole system is dependent upon us. We should know that we're crediting this whole system. We should know that our open-ended credit plan is attached to our credit card, and every single time our credit card is ran, we've been entered into a consumer credit transaction. Anytime we've been entered into a consumer credit transaction, a finance charge arose. The finance charge, the determination of a finance charge and pursuant to 15 USC 1605 is the sum of all charges. If that's the sum of all charges, and that's computed the moment that our credit card, which our credit card defined in Truth in Lending is your social security number or your social security card, the moment that that's ran, it's crediting the finance charge with something called the amount financed. And you guys can find all of this as well too on your Truth in Lending disclosure. We talked about this on the video, the live stream the other day. So it's vital that we're studying all of these videos and recordings. I'm not doing any of these trainings for no reason. I'm doing them so all of you guys can go back, a year from now, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, and apply this information, because this information is timeless, family. This is information that's been passed since the late 60s, the early 70s, right? When we talk about the Consumer Credit Protection Act, that was passed in 1968. When we talk about Truth in Lending, that was passed in 1972, I believe, or 1968 or 1972, right? These acts are not something that's new, family. These are things that have been passed, decades ago, and, people are now just stepping in and becoming more aware of this information, more aware of the rights that we've always held, that have always been within each and every single one of us. That's why a lot of these, religions or spirituality, things, are just simply guiding you guys inwardly, helping you guys take that trip to inner space, right? Tapping into the divinity that's within each and every single one of us, that Christ consciousness that's within each and every single one of us. And once we tap into that frequency, family, you'll see and live this world, on a whole different plane, and every single day is just going to be completely different as you go out and operate, as you're traveling. You're going to see things completely different. The way that you view the schooling system, seeing things completely different, seeing things the way that you're viewing, these insurance companies, all of the mortgage companies, all of these things. Once you guys understand that it's all commerce and they're all benefiting and they're all, leeching off of your guys' credit, and that's what it is. We're giving every single one of them life. Without us, without a natural person, they're soulless, right? They don't have no soul, right? They don't have no spirit, right? We give them life, we give them everything, right? There would be no Wells Fargo commercials, there would be no Chase commercials. It's just like any business. If I have a business and if I got no clientele, I'm nobody. I'm not a business. I'm just a piece of paper. Now that's all that these corporations are, and they hold no power other than the power that we give them. Right? So when we call them bureaus, we're giving them power. That's like me calling you Jane. Okay, I know your name's not Jane, and you know that I know your name's not Jane, and you know that I know that Jane, what you're doing is deceptive, is unfair. Right, yeah, and you guys may be like, okay, but why do they have, policies and data sharing, company policies if it were illegal? Because right away, Congress is letting us know that, credit reporting method is completely voluntary. It's complete. These corporations have simply assumed this role, or they've simply assumed it. They don't, they're not obligated to report any of this information. They're not, no government agency ever put them in power to report this information on you guys. Name one government agency that's connected with Equifax, Experian, or TransUnion. You'll never be able to do so, but yet government agencies are attached to the CFPB, which the CFPB we can go through and file a complaint through as a consumer against these companies. Same thing with the Attorney General complaint, right? We can go to the state of whatever state we're in, whatever corporation, right? Whatever, the state of Arizona, the state of Nevada, right? Whatever corporation we're in, we can go to that state and we can file an Attorney General complaint as well too. But but yet we don't, we've been deceived, we've been mistaken into thinking that they got the power and we don't got the power. But that's how powerful you are. Like I talked about, it states that they assumed a vital role. They assumed this role. And then they talk about in number 4, and I believe that was number 3 in the congressional findings, of the FCRA. And number 4 talks about, there's a need to ensure, that we protect the invasion of a consumer's right to privacy, right? We have a right to privacy. It's not a privilege, but it's a right, right? And rights cannot be taken from us. Rights are not something that, is, that, we've been granted. As, something that we were born with. Right? We were born with, these rights, and these corporations cannot tell us, what we, what we can or cannot do. Is not a privilege. It's not, okay, I'm allowing, no, it's a right. If I have the right, to speak, I'm not going to allow anybody to tell me whether or not I'm able to speak, right? So, if I have the right to carry, firearms, I don't need a license to go carry a firearm, right? All of these things are commercial. All of these things are ways to get you to contract with them, so that as you contract with them, you can then act in suitorship of the organization, and the organization is property of the United States Inc. So anytime you contract with them, you're giving up your rights, you're giving up your jurisdiction, and that's how they get jurisdiction over you. That's how people go to jail over certain things, and carrying a firearm without a license, or all of these things, because we don't, and we've been separated from ourselves. We've been separated from source. We've given our power to external deities, to deities, in which have been, and I'm gonna leave it right here. We're giving our power to deities and once you tap in, and this is why it's vital to tap into your lineage, your roots, who you are, where do you come from, where do you descend from, right? And and the reason why is because who you are is, is a reflection of who came before you, right? The way you speak, the way I speak, the way I look, not even just facial features, the characteristics, my demeanor, right? These aren't things that were just, learned, right? These are things that, that are instilled within each and every single one of us, and, family, they're instilled within each and every single one of us. And, a lot of these same deities in which we're worshiping and giving power to, are the same deities that, crusaders and people came here to, colonize, and, they beat a lot of these and raped and tortured and, did a whole lot of demonic things to your people and to your lineage, to make you believe in a lot of these, gods and these, the whole nine, right? A lot of these, prophets, right? False prophets. And that's what a lot of these things are out there. I'm not putting or stating anything specifically, but I want you guys to just, tap into who you are, tap into your roots, tap into, where do you come from? Ask your grandma, ask your auntie, about their aunties and their grandmas and their grandpas and where they came from, and, all of that, family, because we are the power. The power has been within us since we were born, even before then. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It can only be transmutated. So I'm going to see y'all soon, family. Until next time, it's never goodbye, but always until next time. I'll see you guys very soon. Let's keep taking action, family. You know, understand the FCRA is your best friend. You guys can get anything removed with it. You know, look into 1681C2, 1681S1, 1681S2. There's a lot of different codes and things I can, you know, just give to you guys in regards to different codes you guys can look at throughout the FCRA. But above all else, you guys can get anything removed with just congressional findings. You know, mark my words. You know, if I'm wrong, you know, somebody go live with me and tell me I'm wrong, and, you know, explain how, show me what you've done, you know, the letters you've drafted up. You know, we can go through and I can show you maybe where you went wrong and why it didn't go about, and we could attack it my way and see if that works. And I promise you guys, you know, with time, with consistency, y'all gonna get what y'all seeking. Peace, love, and light, family.